Welcome to Office 24 by 7. In today's video, we're going to look at how inbound calls can be handled on a priority basis. Normally, when a call comes in, routing happens in a round-robin manner after the IVR plays. But there are many situations where you may want every incoming call to be connected first to your most important or most skilled agent. This ensures that your customers speak first with the most capable or designated priority agent who can address their queries instantly. Only when that priority agent is busy, not connected, or unavailable, should the call move to the next agent in the hierarchy, and then to the next, and so on. We can achieve this perfectly through an automation flow. So let's go into the configuration and understand how to set this up. Here you can see a flow that has already been created to handle priority-based call routing. This automation is named Priority-Based Call Handling. As covered in our earlier videos, when creating any automation flow, you begin by entering the automation name and description, and then define the start and end date and time for when the flow should run. You can set it to run every day or restrict it to specific days depending on your business requirements. Once these basic details are in place, we move into configuring the flow. Every automation flow starts with a trigger, and here the trigger is the FromObject node. In the configuration of this node, the automation is set to fire when an inbound call is received. All inbound calls are created as new records inside the Cloud Telephony object. So what this configuration does is detect those new incoming call records for this specific virtual number. That becomes the trigger for the entire automation to begin. Immediately after the trigger, we need to play an IVR message to the caller, for which I've added a message file node. Inside this node, I've selected the required audio file that plays a welcome greeting and presents the menu options to the caller. Once the menu options are played, the next step is to capture whatever input the caller presses on their dial pad. For this, I'm using the menu node. Inside the menu configuration, I've set the system to capture inputs 1, 2, and 3. Input 1 is mapped to sales, input 2 to support, and input 3 directly connects the caller to an agent. I can also define how many attempts the caller can make if they enter a wrong input and the maximum time the system should wait for their input after the IVR is played. After capturing the input, the caller must be assigned to the right department or the right agent. So I've added an assign node after each of the 3 menu outcomes, 1 for sales, 2 for support, and 3 for the direct agent option. Immediately after each assign node, I've added a people node. In this node, I specify which agent the call should go to. For this example, I selected the most priority agent in the sales department, who is Prashanth Dubey, and mapped their mobile number. Now, whenever a caller chooses the sales option, the call will attempt to connect to Prashanth Dubey first. But like in any real-world scenario, this agent may already be attending another call, may be busy, or may even be temporarily disconnected. So we need to build logic that checks the agent's status before routing the call. For that, I've used an if-value condition node. Inside the condition node's configuration, I'm checking the agent's status. An agent's real-time status during ongoing calls is recorded in the live calls object. So I've summoned the live calls object and set the system to check if the status is either not connected or busy. I'm using an OR operator so that if either condition is true, the system should automatically route the call to the next level agent. Like all condition nodes, this node has 2 paths, yes and no. The yes path is taken when the agent is busy or not connected. In that case, we need to connect the caller to the second level priority agent. To do that, I've added another assign node and another people node, where I've selected the next 2 priority agents, John Smith and Mike Xavier. The system will connect the call to either John or Mike using round robin. When this is done, the flow ends with an end node. For the no path, meaning the priority agent is available and successfully connected, the flow simply ends there with the end node because the caller has reached the intended agent. In this example, I've demonstrated the configuration for the sales department only because sales calls are usually more sensitive and require the highest skilled or designated agent to handle them first. But if you want, you can set up the same priority logic for support or any other option in your IVR. In such cases, you can use the if value condition node to check the agent's availability and then redirect the call to the next level agent accordingly. Once your full flow is ready, you can save it. And whenever you're ready to make it live, just click publish and the flow will start working immediately. In summary, when an inbound call is received, the system plays the greeting, captures the caller's menu input, connects them first to the highest priority agent in that department, and if that agent is not available, it automatically assigns the call to the next priority agent. Thank you for watching and have a great day.